Craftsman DLT 3000 lawn tractor. Won't start. Already replaced the ignition switch.
Hello, my name is Jack, Mr. PUTTPUTT. Thanks for contacting JustAnswer. Let me see if I can be of some assistance to you. I am sorry to hear you are having problems with your mower. Do you have the model of the unit from the OEM decal under the seat? I see that you have replaced a number of parts. Have you done any troubleshooting at all?
It is a Craftsman DLT 3000 modelNNN-NN-NN-N/P. Yes, I have been checking connections with a voltmeter. I have had a similar problem before, but this is mind-bending. When the ignition switch is off, I have voltage on B. When I turn the key to start, voltage on B goes to 0. I have jumpered the amp meter with switch off, 12V. Start goes to 0.
Does your solenoid have 2 large wires and 2 small wires?
Checking.
Okay.
Yes. 2 large posts with thick red wires. 2 posts with 1 white and 1 black. 4 total connections.
Okay, on the small wires, one is a ground and the other is the starter trigger wire. You can see if you have ground on one by putting your voltmeter red lead to your battery plus and then the voltmeter black lead test for ground on the. You should get a voltage reading above 12 volts. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
First make sure we have a ground, then we can test for power next.
We have ground at 12.3 volts.
That is with your voltmeter to red positive on the battery and on what color on the solenoid?
Okay. Remember, my ignition switch is off unless you tell me otherwise. There is a whilte wire and a black wire.
Yes is good. What wire did you have the reading on?
White.
Okay, so the white is the ground and we know that it is good as the voltage is the same or close to the battery.
Actually, they are both showing ground.
They may with the key off.
Okay. What's next?
Now put your black lead from your meter to battery ground, and the red lead to the other small wire on the solenoid, and then turn the key to see if you get power on it. Have the parking brake set also.
Okay.
Give that a test and let me know.
Nothing on either lead. Parking brake is on and I have a sandbag on the seat for butt switch.
Where is this solenoid mounted?
On the inside of the engine case.
So under the dash.
Yes.
If you short the 2 large posts together, does the engine turn? Short with an old screwdriver and make sure brake is on.
Nothing. Nothing either with switch on or off.
So you have nothing by shorting the 2 large posts at the solenoid, correct?
Correct.
Do you have voltage on the large red wires? It will not matter if key is on or off.
No.
So that is leading me to believe that you have either a bad connection at the battery or a bad main cable. You should have voltage on one large red wire at the solenoid. And then the other large wire gets voltage when you turn the key.
Wait. Sorry. My ground fell off. I have voltage on the large post in. None on the engine side. The engine side does not get voltage when I turn the key.
Now you will need to recheck the trigger wire.
Nothing on either one, whether ignition on or off.
Are you turning it to the start position?
Yes.
So now try shorting the two large wires and see if it cranks.
Nope.
And you still have voltage at the large wire on the solenoid.
Yes.
Are you shorting with a screwdriver?
Yes. Just tried another one. Nothing.
When you found your ground off, how did it fall off? Is it not bolted to the battery?
The voltage meter slipped off the terminal. The ground didn't change.
Okay, sorry. Does it spark a lot when you try and jump the terminals?
No spark at all.
Something is not right. Is the engine loose on the frame?
No. It is solid.
Just a min. Do you have a set of jumper cables?
I do.
Take one side of the cable, say the red hook, one red to the mower battery positive, and then take the other red and touch the starter terminal where the red wire is bolted onto. It should spin the starter and the engine. If the engine is grounded good and the starter is good, you may get some sparking.
No go, and I am out of daylight. I will not be able to get back on this till the morning. Perhaps we can pick it up then.
Not a problem. I will be online from around 9 a.m. Central and most of the day until 10 p.m. Just click on the save and exit and we can pick up in the morning.
Are you available?
I am here, just got back from church.
Good for you. Are you ready for another round?
Let's see what we can find out.
I am at the tractor and ready.
Now today, what do you have for voltage on the large red wire battery side of the solenoid?
With ignition off 12V. With ignition on 0.
That not right. There should not be any change on the large red wire. This is direct from the battery. The switch should not change that.
I have a new switch right here. Putting it on. Same thing. 12V off. 0 on.
Switch should not matter. The large red wire is not a part of the switch on this, comes from the battery to the solenoid and nothing in between.
But it does. Is there a short somewhere? It does the same thing if I put the probe on the red battery. Goes to 0 when I turn the switch.
What is your ground lead hood to from your meter? Sorry, hook 2.
The ground is hooked to the chassis. So battery to cable to chassis. Black probe on chassis. D is all the neg side.
Put your ground direct on the battery, not the chassis.
Okay. Same behavior. With the switch off, with black to battery and red to battery, 12V. With switch on, with black to battery and red to battery, 0.
So with the black lead on the battery neg and red lead to solenoid large red cable, you get what?
With ignition off 12V. With ignition on 0.
Remove your battery ground from the battery.
Okay. Done.
Now what do you have from the battery post to battery post?
12 volts with switch both on or off.
Find the other end of the black battery cable. Is this tight?
Hang on. It is.
Where is it mount to?
It is mounted to the floor of the engine compartment.
And this is tight with no corrosion on it, no rust?
I will admit it is a mess in there. But I don't see rust. If I probe the chassis, I get 12V strong with switch off. Then 0 if I turn the switch. Are we making progress?
If the red battery cable goes from the battery to the solenoid and black cable goes from the battery to the chassis, all these are a length of wire. There is not anything in between. The voltage should not go to 0 at all.
I surmise that. But even with the voltmeter leads on the battery, it goes to 0 when I turn the switch.
I don't remember. Do you have a set of jumper cables?
I do.
What about another battery source?
I can use my truck. It is 12V.
As long as it is not running too many amps when running.
Okay. What are we going to try?
Hook up the cable to the battery of your truck and then on the mower put black to the engine block mount bolt and touch the red to the starter cable stud. And see if it turns over.
Nothing. Voltmeter reads 12V until I touch the red to the starter. Then 0.
What are you doing with the voltmeter? Where is that hooked to?
It is hooked to the same chassis bolt as the jumper cable and the red bolt on the start. If I check the red jumper cable before I touch the starter, 12V. When I touch the starter, 0. I'm guessing I need a new starter.
Do not use the voltmeter. Set that aside. No, from your truck red cable to positive, black cable to negative, then on the tractor black to the engine mount. Make sure the lead is good and making contact. Then red to the terminal on the starter. If it does not turn over, then you may have a bad starter. Keep the voltmeter away from it.
Okay. Still nothing. Doesn't jump, spark or anything.
With the cables hooked to your truck, do the other ends spark when you touch them quickly together?
Oh yes. I'm going to give up and take it in for repair. I appreciate your time and assistance.
Okay, so you can remove the starter and bench test it. Hook the black to the starter body and red to the terminal of the starter and see if it spins.
Okay.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.